Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Tony Rizzano for the Affiliate Party Podcast. And today's topic, we're going to talk about living in a bubble. How to avoid distractions. Why you should avoid distractions. Now, when you are trying to create a business, it's a lot of things you have to do for your business, So you don't want to be one of those people that are easily distracted. I've had this problem. I'm sure you probably had that problem. You want to do something, you want to start on something, and then your attention span goes to the right, and you just start doing everything else but what you're supposed to be doing. When I first started writing again for my blog last year, or whenever my website, whenever I created it, I would start to try to write something, and of course I would go, oh yeah, let me do some research. And research would turn into 2 hours of looking at everything but focusing on what I needed to focus on. So I had to learn about not being so distracted, not being so easily, turned away from what I was doing. So one thing that helped me out, I read a book. I read a few books, but one book I read is called Indistractable by Nir. The name is Nireyal. Indistractable. It was a good book. I learned a lot in that book how to try to avoid certain distractions, how to cut the phone off, shut the phone down, so I won't be distracted, so I can do articles, do podcasts, do all the stuff all the content I need to create for my business and everything like that. And just in life in general, because even if you're out with a loved one, a family member, sometimes you're eating dinner, you know how you have that habit of you'll be looking down at your phone and they'll be talking and you just be distracted. I've also had to do that in my personal life. I tell my wife, me and my wife, we go out for lunch, we go out for dinner, she'll say, you know what time it is? I'll say, no, I left my phone in the car. So sometimes I just leave my phone in the car. Sometimes I just turn my phone on silent. Sometimes I just shut it off completely. Or sometimes I just leave the house every now and then without the phone if I'm not going that far, Of course, the phone is a necessity, don't get me wrong. But you don't have to be in the phone all day, every day. That's one thing that, I had to work on to get the business really going. And, so if you want to check that book out, Indistractable, it'll help. Another thing that like whenever I start, because writing articles, you have to do a little research. I do a little research, and sometimes if there's an article, and then I stumble upon an article that I actually want to read, and then I go, well, I can't read it right now because I got to keep doing this research. So I downloaded an app called the Pocket app. And the Pocket app, you could just take the article that you want to read and you can put it over there in the Pocket app, save it for later, so you won't have to try to go back and find it. You just save it, you just put it in the Pocket app, and then you can read it later on, like towards the end of, after you're done with everything, or if you're taking a break, something like that. So that helps. That helps me when it comes to distractions and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, people, I probably said this sometime last week, but if it's somebody that you're talking to and they just want to keep, I did talk about this last week, because I talked about my cousin, and how he used to call and just talk about nonsense for 2 hours. So, you had to start cutting that kind of stuff off, So you just got to remember, you want to try to live in your own bubble, It's not a thing that you just don't like anybody or anything like that. But in order to make your business grow, to make your business successful, you have to sort of, you have to go into the selfish mode a little bit. You have to think, you have to say, hey, I gotta make this happen, because the more time you give people, the less time you give to yourself and your business. See, that's basically what I'm getting at. You have to start, insulating yourself into your business, so you won't, because people will call you all day. Well, you know how it goes. Hell, people call you They don't have nothing to do. They'll call you and just talk, and then when it's time for them to do something, they're like, all right, I gotta go, bye, and they just cut you off like that real quick, So I mean, sometimes you have to be a little selfish to get the business you want growing, And that way, once you get the business growing, you get it sustained, get it worked out, you have more time for people. So just look at it like that. I mean, I've had to learn that. That's one of the things, because people call and they talk and they talk and talk. I mean, I had to learn this early on in my truck driving life. People would call me Monday through Friday, blow the phone up, call me all day, talk. And then come the weekend, I'm sitting in Nebraska somewhere, and I'm like, man, who can I call, because I had nothing to do. 2007, nothing to do. And I would call these people, voicemail. They call back Monday, hey, what's up, man? I say you called Saturday, Friday night. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to cut that off. I had to say, you know what? Nah. So when I decided I wanted to do this online business, I wanted to get this going, I said, oh, it's easy for me to cut these people off, because, they done me the same way before, so, whatever. But, yeah, you want to avoid them distractions. You want to try to move into a bubble. And I mean everything, because this is one reason why you don't want to sign up for it. Don't sign up for everybody's email. Don't make that mistake. When I first started trying to learn an online business, I signed up for everybody and their brother email. It's like 20 different people emailing me all day, every day. That's distracting. When you go to your email to try to send something to somebody, you got all these new emails coming in. So I deleted a lot of those. I deleted a lot of old emails. I've done many things to get rid of the distractions, so I can create content every day. It's about content creation. It's about building a business. You can't have all these distractions. You don't need all those distractions. It's just a waste of time. That's basically, that's it. It's a waste of time. You wanna insulate yourself, and you wanna insulate yourself because you have to, because in order for you to get the business going, you gotta be a little selfish. You gotta have time for yourself. You gotta have time to think. You gotta have time to strategize, and you have to have time to do what you want to do for your business. All right. So, hope that helps. Remove the distractions. Insulate yourself a little bit. Create a little bubble for yourself to let your business grow, blossom, everything like that. And yeah, then once you get it going, you say, hey man, I got a little more time for you, I got a little more time to chit chat if you want, I had to work on my business, because if you're not growing that business, then I mean, what's the point of having a business if you're not having that thing grow? All right, I hope that helps. I know this is a little shorter than the normal podcast lately, but I mean, I gave you a book, I gave you an app. It's a couple more things I've read about habits and all that kind of stuff, but we'll get into that sometime down the road. All right. My name is Tony Rizzano. This is the Affiliate Party Podcast, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. All right. And as always, everybody, peace.